A very good evening to one and all present here. Today, I, Dr. Harpuneet, on behalf of Geeta Ratan International Business School, welcome you all for the E-MDP on digital and social media marketing for business growth. Geeta Ratan International Business School was established in the year 2004. Geeta Ratan is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and is approved by All India Council for Technical Education, Ministry of HRD, and Government of India for technical courses, and Bar Council of India for law courses. The institute is accredited as Category A by National Assessment and Accreditation Council and assessed as Category A+ by State Free Regulatory Committee, a fee committee of Government of NCT of Delhi, and rated highest grading A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGS IP University. The institute has been rated Grade A by Academic Audit Cell of GGS IP University consecutively from past 5 years. Geeta Ratan has also been rated number 2 by Times Peace School Survey 2021, and the institute conducts postgraduate courses of MBA, MBA IB, and undergraduate courses for BBA, BBA LLB, and BA LLB. Now, coming to the event today, our professional life has changed dramatically in the last few years. No one can deny that, and our default meeting rooms is Zoom, and we hold webinars on a regular basis for that particular thing. The most significant change, though, was how social media became the go-to platform for learning, finding new job prospects, and growing our companies. It also goes to illustrate how critical social media marketing is. This prompted many marketeers to reconsider their social media marketing strategies because customers utilize digital and social media on a regular basis and are exposed to corporations. They have enormous potential for business. However, because it is an ever-changing place that is extremely noisy and congested, it poses significant issues for the business. Thus, the objective of this E-MDP are to understand how to develop effective content, to understand the various techniques to bring traffic onto the digital platforms, to understand how can the existing customer help in lead generations, and to understand how various tools of digital marketing can boost the brand awareness. In order to fulfill these objectives, we have our eminent speakers with us, Dr. Anuj Tripathi and Ms. Urvashi Pant, who will be covering up the following topics respectively. The first one is reaching wider audience through social media analytics, which would be covered by Dr. Anuj Tripathi, and campaign creation for clients, which would be taken by Ma'am Urvashi Pant. It gives us immense pleasure to invite our first speaker of the evening, Dr. Anuj Tripathi. Dr. Tripathi is a Six Sigma certified techno management professional. For 12 plus years now, he has been helping businesses to improve their profitability by leveraging cutting-edge IT solutions. Currently, Sir is working as a director at Affle India, where the focus is on the platform-based IT solutions that enable thriving startups and giant enterprises to solve complex business challenges. Expertise of Sir include exploring technology and organizational capability from a perspective of marketing intelligence, leveraging work from home for business continuity during COVID-19 pandemic, and scope with reference to BI solution adoption and customer interaction analytics concepts, application, and scope. Dr. Anuj earned his doctoral from Amity University, Uttar Pradesh in 2021 and has been delivering lectures and workshops at various events and universities. We welcome you, sir. And now I'd request Dr. Anuj Tripathi to please proceed with this session, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harpuneet, for the introduction and welcoming me. I would like to thank you and Geeta Ratan Institute Management for inviting me for today's MDP. I would like to start the topic. Let me share my screen and then we can start from there. Dr. Harpuneet, can you please give me access? Yes, I have received it. Thank you. Dr. Harpuneet, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see it, sir.
Perfect. So thank you, everyone. Let me introduce myself quickly again. So I have around 12 plus years of experience in digital transformation consulting. Right now, I'm working with Affle India, an engineering graduate and management postgraduate, and recently completed PhD on business intelligence solution. I have published 11 plus research papers, out of which 7 are Scopus indexed, and that is on area of business intelligence, speech analytics, marketing intelligence, decision science, etc. I have also co-authored a book on blockchain enabled secure medical supply chain, and it is under production right now. You can reach me out on LinkedIn, Twitter, ResearchGate, and Quora. So it's really important to understand that what will be the key takeaways after today's presentation. So the first one is we would like to understand the big data and the recent trend in big data technologies. We will understand machine learning and its uses, how machine learning is being utilized in marketing and acquiring new customers. We will also understand the concept of customer lifetime value, that what is the customer lifetime value, how companies and organizations are deciding their strategy based upon it. We will discuss a couple of use cases, that is data and ML enabled strategic decisions, how these strategies, these technologies have been utilized to take quick and accurate decisions across the industry. So in between, if you have any question, you can type that on chat box, and then in between I'll try to take and answer some of them as well. So let us start quickly, and let's understand how big is the data. So we hear about the big data very frequently, and let's understand how big it is. So some of the facts you can see here, like every 2 days we create as much as information that we have created until 2003. So you can see that how, whatever we have done until 2003, that every 2 days we are creating that much of data, and that generates huge potential. Facebook has 2.5 billion active users and upload 200,000 photo in a day. So this is shows that how frequently we have been doing that and what is the potential there. Same over Google alone process an average of 40,000 search queries per second, and which is 3.5 billion in a single day. So large amount of data is produced by the search engine like Google, and there are other search engines as well. Around 100 hours of videos are uploaded on YouTube every minute. And you believe or not, it will take around 15 years to watch 1 day of video content on YouTube. So this is how the data is being played around us. If you burn all the data created in just 1 day onto DVDs, you could stack them on the top of each other. You can reach the moon. Consider the width of DVDs, and you can reach the moon, that too twice. So this is how much data we are generating day by day. Further, if you talk about Twitter, users are tweeting 500 million tweets per day. That is around 200 billions per year. Every minute we send 204 million emails. We are exchanging 65 billion messages daily. Walmart, which is a biggest departmental store retail chain in United States of America, they are processing 1 million customer transactions per hour. Amazon sells over 4,000 products every minute. And the last one is that total card payment transaction reached to 131.2 billion with a value of 10.05 trillion in 2020. And we are still, as a country, we are looking to reach out 5 trillion economy in next 5 years. So these are some eye-opener fact which shows that how data is being produced by us, and there is a huge potential in utilizing those data set. Let's understand, because big data as a concept everybody is aware of, but how the trends are changing within the big data, it is important to understand. Because in the last 2-3 years, there have been enormous changes in big data expectation and the uses of big data as well. How it is? The first one is big to small and wide data. We are talking about the big data, wherein when we talk about big data, majorly we are talking about the vertical alignment, the depth of the data. But here we are talking about breaking those big data to small chunks and then wider part of it. How what kind of more information can be generated from the piece of data. So that is big to small granular analysis and widening data. Horizontal data also is something which we want to utilize in our strategic decisions. Composable data. Composable data is mainly the kind of data set which is produced across the systems you are using, and whenever required it can be used. So there is a data set and multiple sources can utilize those data as and when required. So the composable data in SaaS world, wherein most of the things are on cloud, this composable data also plays an important role. So just take an example that all the information of citizens are stored at one place, and there are different applications which are working on SaaS model. They can access them anytime. So with all the security consideration, etc. So composable data is there. Then data fabric. So data fabric enables a continuous analysis, the event distribution of the data across the solution. So sometimes, data fabric is being confused with data lake as well. So data lake and data fabric both are the complementary words and provide sort of similar solution. However, data fabric denotes that wider acceptance of the data across the organization. So that is also one of the trending word and technology being used in utilization of the data set and across the business decisions. Smarter, responsible, and scalable. When you talk about any data set, that has to be smarter. Providing shared database sometimes may not work. That information, what we are deriving from that data source, has to be responsible and too. I can hear some background noise. Can you please mute yourself?
Just a second, sir. Just a second. I request all the participants to please turn off their mics, please. Sir, is it better now?
Yes, better.
Okay, sir.
So nowadays, XOps. So total ops is something which is quite popular. On introduction of ML ops, data ops is something which is we are already aware, and it is in floating in the industry for many years. But in increasing use of AI and ML have increased the uses of ML ops and AI ops as well, because data are learning and creating ML algorithm day by day. So how to manage those algorithms, how we can play with the data set, that whenever there is a requirement, whenever intelligent input required anywhere, how those can be utilized, and how we can create models so that moreover human intervention can be reduced. So that is also which is quite popular nowadays when we talk about big data technologies. And then augmented consumers. What are the augmented consumers? There are a set of business users who use data analytics solution in their daily life. They are informed. They are not satisfied with some of the graphs, etc. on the dashboard of any solution. They really need a deeper insights. They are informed. You need not to make them learn about how to play with the data, and they are keen to use the kind of solution where they can create their own models. They can get the deeper insight and can take decision based on that. So this is also one of the trending concept in big data technology. Now let's understand the data-driven insight and its importance. So omni-channel experience is something which is increasing, and by end of 2024, 75% of the enterprises will shift from piloting to operationalizing AI driving. A 5x increase in streaming data and analytics infrastructure. So the utilization is still underutilized. there are enterprises which are not using the fully potential of the big data, and they are not taking the data-based decisions. That too, when we talk about the data set, it's not about in general creating a model and defining an action item versus personalized action. I will talk about some of the use cases in my slides, wherein I'll talk about how that personalized experience can create wonders for any organization. Similarly, before we understand that how these data are utilized in the marketing decisions, it's important that machine learning is also playing a vital role here. AI and ML together can deliver extra yield of 13 trillion to world economy by 2030, which would support worldwide GDP by almost 1.2%, which is a larger number. And how this machine learning is helping, that we are starting with some of the existing domain wherein a specific knowledge lies with subject matter expert. We are trying to find some of the new patterns, that how our customers are using the data, and then we are validating patterns against some of the business relevance. So we can take any example wherein a repeat nature of process is defined. So existing domain expert create that model, and then we try to identify more data pattern. And once this ML is implemented, then sometime it creates a very specific machine learning model which give you immense insight about any operation, or you may say sales, marketing, etc. So, I mean, let's take an example of personalization using Spotify. So Spotify develop your test profile, and how it does it, that whenever you hear a lot of songs on Spotify, it starts identifying that what are the songs which you like on higher side, and someday they help you providing that this is the song of the day, or if you are in bad mode, they help with some soulful songs to you, and you like those recommendations. Hereby you start liking Spotify and preferring Spotify as well. Also, they recommend some of the songs which you have not listened, but they fit into your taste profile. So this is how, I mean, they are lately entered in the this music streaming concept, but now Spotify is even better than some of the earlier leading live music kind of applications. And they provide you recommendation on Discover Weekly and whatnot. So this is how the machine learning is helping to identifying the patterns and providing a delightful experience to your customer. Let's understand some of the how of the machine learning. So how to implement machine learning in your decision-making process? First one is define your objective. If you want to, let me take an example of video streaming app like Amazon Prime and Hotstar. So first we need to define your objective. You want to tap your customer, penetrate in any existing market, or you want to delight your customers. You have the existing user base and you want to delight those customers. Then be aware about the biasness. So whenever you talk about the data, sometimes there are coincidences as well. Are you considering coincidence as a logical pattern and then creating your model? That is bound to fail. So to take an example, that when particular incident is happening in particular department, coincidentally sales is also increasing. So is it a pattern? Sometime it is, sometime it is not. So we need to consider the dependency very well, and machine learning creates model, but the inputs are given by the subject matter expert. So variable needs to be defined well, and only dependable variable has to make a relationship, and then create a model. So that is there. Find unanswered question. We need to identify some of the questions which are not answered, and then try to identify the data point which can help you to answer those questions. Carry out in-depth analysis before approaching any machine learning based models. And then consider alternatives as well, because it helps you to avoid the biasness and identify the similar nature of pattern across the data set. Inputs and interpretation. So when you are giving any input, you have to interpret the data set, the results accordingly. So interpretation also plays a vital role when you talk about any machine learning or big data enabled solution, or even the decision making. Whatever data set you have been receiving, that has to be translated well and then interpreted, recommended accordingly. Then only the insight based decision can be taken. So let's take some of the use cases, machine learning in business. So before I proceed, I would like to ask, in case if you have any question, you can ask, please.
I would request the participants, if someone has any question, they can raise it to Dr. Tripathi, or they can put their questions down in the chat box. Sir can read it out from there. I don't think there are any questions as of now, so we can proceed.
Yeah. So if you talk about some of the use cases, that is machine learning in business, one is personalized sales and marketing. You understand the taste of your customer. Like a lot of these make my trip kind of websites are using personalized sales and marketing, wherein they are calling to their customer. One classic example can be MX, American Express credit card, wherein they analyze your spend pattern and then they give you a personalized call there. Sometimes you have high bills, etc. They call you and then give you discount, and you feel very delighted at, oh, they are trying to keep me happy and intact with their brand value. Fraud detection. If you take an example of fraud detection, we are creating algorithm. How these algorithms work? Any financial application, if your location is changed too frequently, they are detecting it automatically and tagging those transactions as a possible fraudulent activity. If one transaction is done in Mumbai and second transaction is done in Delhi, this can be a possible fraudulent because you cannot fly too speedily there. Then if you talk about mobile app downloads, so there are companies who help you to provide number of higher downloads. They have actually device farm. They have lakhs of device in a house kind of warehouse kind of place, wherein there are automated program. They are clicking on applications and applications are being downloaded. Or you take an example of survey. If there is a 550 question survey, you cannot fill those answers in 10 minutes. That means there is a program who is helping you to fill that. So that is a possible fraudulent. You talk about process automation, RPA, and that is quite hot in insurance industry, that there are repeated process like claims which are being automated. Legal consulting, based upon IPC, the chat bots, the bots identifying the pattern whenever you enter the case and then provide you legal consulting. It's quite trending in USA and European countries. Predicting customer behavior, your past set of data, and then analyzing that what will be your next step. And then chatbots, obviously. So let me take a case of automated query response, wherein there can be two kind of queries. Automated query response is kind of chatbot system, wherein whenever you input any data, it helps you to automatically answer the question. So you can give your query by two medium. One is text inquiry and the second is speech inquiries. So speech inquiries converted by NLP, natural language processing, into the text question itself. So all the speech converted into verbatives, processed with NLP, and then response formulation work. So either you are entering text or speech query, both are converted into text queries itself, and then accordingly response formulation happened. So one is that all those queries are going to database API, so that future automated data, one is the data entry, and second is learning based upon the question. Then the response formulation happens. It goes to either email or SMS APIs or text to speech, and then speech output can also come. And in case there are any activities which is being demanded, that goes to Google and other calendar applications as well. So this is how the automated query response work. And the role of NLP is on very vital side when you talk about such solution. Another use case wherein we talk about data and ML driven marketing, that earlier we used to hear that I have taken this decision based upon our gut feeling. But without a right data, any suggestion is just an opinion. This is how the corporate work nowadays. So we cannot take the decision based upon assumptions. So based upon our customers' behavior and their expectation, we need to define the strategy. It is no more into gut feeling and assumption based decision or strategy. So let's understand the concept of customer lifetime value. So I discussed big data and machine learning, but all the strategy wherein a cost is also involved is always based upon the customer lifetime value prediction. What is customer lifetime value? Like in human cycle, we have kid and then young age, adult, old age. Similarly, we have customer age as well. One is where customer is exploring, then he's using, then he has certain expectation, and certainly maybe due to technology obsolescence or any other reason that customer goes to some other service provider. For some of the service providers, this customer lifetime value can be very higher side, or this duration can be very higher side, and for some of the service provider, it can be on lower side. Now question is, what is customer acquisition cost? So when you are acquiring the customer, there are certain costs involved. Sometimes it relates to social media spend, Google ad spend, and sometime you are spending on different marketing activities as well. And then you get in return is customer lifetime value. Your customer lifetime value has to be on higher side for a balanced approach. If your lifetime value is on higher side, customer acquisition cost is on lower side, you are on right track. And if you are spending a lot of money in acquiring your customer, but the result is not that favorable, it is on lower side, then your customer acquisition plan need a change. So now I'll take an example of Hotstar and will define that how they have utilized social media campaign, the advertisement campaign, to drive the higher customer lifetime value. So Hotstar, a quick introduction. It was owned by Nove Digital and then acquired by the Walt Disney and it was owned by Star India and then it is acquired by the Walt Disney Company. Around 100,000 hours of TV content available in 9 to 12 languages. Average active users is 300 million. Revenue model is AVOD, that is advertisement video on demand, and SVOD, subscription video on demand. So that is their quick model. They have three kind of user segmentation. One is freemium user. People who do not want to spend money at all. They just want to consume the content with free of cost. So that is they can keep under freemium user set. The second is VIP subscribers, Disney Plus Hotstar VIP subscriber. The spend is on lower side, the charges are on lower side. What you can get in return is Disney shows and movies in 7 dubbed vernacular languages, unrestricted access to live sports, IPL, Formula One, tennis, etc. Latest Star TV serial, exclusive library of shows produced as a Hotstar special. And then we have Disney Plus Hotstar premium subscribers, wherein everything latest Hollywood movies, American TV serials, etc. all are accessible. And in all languages, be it Hindi or any vernacular. Then the defined persona. If you talk about freemium user, so user age set is 16 to 40. The target market is urban and tier 1 and 2 cities. And what they feel, the company feels that this kind of freemium users are more interested in live sports events and they are daily soap viewers. So these are two categories they as per Hotstar. What about the VIP users? They have the age group of 21 to 40, urban and tier 1 city, interested in latest Bollywood movies and Indian series. And they are smart TV users. Then we have premium set of users. The age remains same, urban and tier 1 cities, interested in Hollywood, Marvel series, Pixar entertainment series like HBO originals, Game of Thrones, and they have the omni-channel. They need an omni-channel experience. Whatever content I'm consuming in a smart TV, if I have paused it at 39 minutes, and if I'm opening on my mobile, it should start from 41 minutes. And look at their ad strategy, how they are acquiring the customers. So for the premium users, they acquire them by showing these kind of ads. Watch latest cricket. This is highlight, and this is cricket link as well. So they are acquiring you by showing you the advertisement of IPL match. If you talk about VIP users, their advertisement strategy says that we will talk about some of the latest Indian series like Khuda Hafiz. And if you talk about premium target user set, they will talk about Avengers kind of movies. So this is how they have created 3 set of different ads to acquire the 3 different segmentized users, right? Go one step ahead, how the display ads are being, when you search anything, you can see that first there are paid ads, and then there are creatives as well. Creatives you can't see on Google. When you visit partner site, like if you have accessed hotstar.com and then you are opening google.com or linkedin.com, you may see these kind of advertisement. So this is how they are showing you advertisement like India versus West Indies cricket match, then Hotstar special for VIP customers, and then top Telugu entertainment. So this is how they are showing you different advertisement. They are giving you trial kind of offer as well, so that at least they can acquire you. And this is how the 3 different emails are being sent. Hotstar Premium, they will send you an email wherein you talk about Hollywood series or movie, right? And if they will send you a push notification. So when your phone is locked, there are some push notification created by these applications. The first set, they will send you data saving. Sometimes they will send you that there are vernacular content available to consume. And then sometimes they send you some match notification. So this is also how they are acquiring the customers. So they are acquiring customers through Google search ads, display ads, email campaigns, and then push notification. So once you are acquired, it is important to retain and re-engage you. So they will send you a personalized notification that today you are feeling bored, so you must like to watch some movies. So what that can be? That can be match, that can be a vernacular movie, or they will give you some notification that you can save the data. So that is a hitting the customer's mind. And to retain and re-engage, sometimes they send you an email as well. Let's begin. I mean, you were there, you have consumed some content, but you have not been opening the application for so long. So they, to re-engage, they will send you an email, right? How the retain and re-engage retarget ads looks like. So for VIP users, they have sent you a kind of promo code so that they can acquire you. And they are spending money as well, because they know that whatever expenditure is being done right now, that can be acquired easily once you start liking the content and start paying for those subscription. So that is the reason they are providing you some promo code. Then for freemium users, no promo code, just come and watch the TV. And once there will be a delay, after 5 minutes, they will prompt you and ask for some more money. You will start repaying them. And from for the premium users, they are showing that all the favorite content, Hollywood content, you can watch at one place. So you can see that how a company, OTT company, video on demand company, how they are acquiring your customers and spending money just to acquire you, because it's a long-term profit for them, long-term higher customer lifetime value for them. Then some of the in-app notification. So based upon your purchase history, look at these points. Based upon users' purchase history, geographic location, engagement frequency, your uses on the application, it predicts churn and then create relevant in-app user engagement. So let's suppose you were watching Hotstar for so long and then stopped watching it. And now you have been consuming the content from Amazon Prime. They will re-engage you. How? They will send you a notification. What's the plan for the Friday? You want to watch something, or you have decided, you have not yet decided that what to watch? Or they will based upon, now I mean, in Google Android phone, they can track your activities in other application and they can take the recommendation from there as well. In iPhone uses, some of them you sometimes not allowed to track, but if you allow, they can track your uses across the OTT application and then they provide the recommendation accordingly. And in result, they are expecting a happy customer. And I hope after these much of efforts, you will be a happy customer. Now come to social media marketing. Very smartly, they have created 3 different social media accounts for these 3 segments, because their liking are different. If you talk about the freemium users, they have Hotstar. They have this premium users. They have, this is, I guess, this is Twitter, this is Facebook, and this is Instagram, I guess. So this is how social media handle of for freemium users looks like. Disney plus Hotstar. If you talk about VIP users, look at the banners. They are advertising Sadak too, because they feel that these guys are more interested in Indian movies. Yeah. Content is driven by memes as well. So they create, clipping from their offering and provide you accordingly. And then what about premium users? Marvel series. The content is also accordingly. You can see some foreign faces as well. So how they have identified their user base, segmentized it, and all the offerings are based upon the interest point of users, right? I guess that's it from my side. This is my Twitter handle. You guys can reach me out.
Speaker for the day is Miss Urvashi Pant. Ma'am is the Chief Content Officer at MSL Group Mumbai. In her 17-year career, she has had the opportunity to wear several hats like magazine journalist, sports marketing professional, TV reporter, and content strategist. Working with India's leading media houses and brands has given her the opportunity to produce content for digital platforms and traditional media, including magazines, websites, social media, and television. Madam's expertise include writing, editing, interviewing, storytelling, strategic communication, corporate communication, brand storytelling, long form content, digital content, lifestyle and sports content, content creation, content strategy, digital media, as well as team leadership. We welcome you, ma'am, and invite you to proceed with the session. Urvashi, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Dr. Puneet. It's really, really good to be here. I'm going to put on my camera for just a minute just to say hello to everyone.
Yes, sure, ma'am.
I'm going to go back to presenting.
Sure, ma'am.
So, hi, everyone. I'm Urvashi, and I'm really, really glad to be here. And, following up on this really interesting presentation that Dr. Tripathi made. And I think there was so many great insights on how important data is and, how social media, how digital media is actually transformed and is transforming brands, and how brands are using, the power of data, they're leveraging data so beautifully to achieve their business objectives, right? So it's completely changed the way marketing has been happening over the last few years. So I think, so while that presentation was more focused on data, my presentation or my session is more about leans a little more towards the creative side. I myself have I have a background in content and creative content, so I'm hoping that as I take you through the campaign creation process that we usually do for our clients, I can give you a feel of how campaigns are created. Say right now I'm in an agency, so how when campaign clients come to us, what is the sort of process that we usually follow? Right now, this is important to understand that usually, I mean, teams even within an agency might be following different processes. Every team has their own process, but more or less, this is how we look at content creation. So I'm just going to start presenting now. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
All right. Here we go. So now at this point, I just want to, I mean, we all know the importance of social media. We also know that brands create campaigns. There are 360-degree campaigns where social media plays an important part. And then there are some campaigns that, focus on certain social media platforms. And I'm going to take you through some examples towards the end of the presentation, where we can, the whole idea is to understand the thought process behind certain social media the campaigns that were hosted on, either were part of these 360-degree campaigns and amplified on social media platforms, or were hosted on social media platforms and amplified on other platforms as well. And why some of them became popular, and what are the key takeaways that we can, what are the key learnings that we can have from some of these campaigns. So I hope you find them useful. It'll be great if this is an interactive session. If anyone has any question, if anyone has an observation, if anyone has an additional insight on anything that we are discussing, I'll be happy to hear that. And as we go through it, I mean, at the beginning of this session, I just want to request if there are any, social media campaigns that you have really liked. I would like some of you to share those campaigns and tell me your reasons why you like those campaigns. All right, so social media campaigns are the rocket fuel. This is a definition I really liked. And I say social media campaigns are the rocket fuel of your marketing efforts. Now, why are we calling it the rocket fuel? We're calling it the rocket fuel is because it gives a boost to the already the marketing efforts that are already in place, right? Social media campaigns happen for maybe if there's a launch of a product, or if there's a launch of, say, something, a series on Netflix. Like there is a campaign around Stranger Things, which is probably dropped on Netflix today. Maybe a brand wants to expand. Maybe a brand is entering a new city, and they want to bring about brand awareness that, hey, we've arrived in the city, and here's where we will be available. So brands would put out a campaign for that. Brands will put out a campaign maybe around a big event, a sporting event. I'll take you through the campaign that one of our clients, Sony Sports, did very, very well back in 2018. It was a FIFA football campaign. So social media and these are these campaigns are in the middle of your everyday social media efforts that are being put out by the brand. So it's a concentrated burst of energy that pays off in a major boost to your marketing object. So, when you say concentrated burst of energy, it means that you're putting that much effort, you're putting that much thought. You're pulling in all the experts, you're pulling in agencies, you're pulling in, your best creative minds, you're pulling in your best digital minds to create a campaign that is going to meet your business objectives, right? Now, if you're putting in that much effort, it has to lead to something, and that means it has to be aligned with your larger business objectives. It has to result in something that is, the results could be tangible, they could be intangible, but they have to be of some sort of value addition to you. Now, what do campaigns do for a brand? Why do brands come out with these campaigns? Well, there are many reasons. One is, of course, there is already a brand which has, which is already there, but they want to boost their brand presence. So that is one of the reasons. And what you see on the screen right now do not include all the reasons. There are many different reasons, but these are some of the common ones. They can generate greater brand recall, right? I'm sure all of you, a lot of you would probably, whoever is interested in cricket or sports, around the time the World Cup happens, Star Sports comes out with really, really interesting campaigns for the World Cup. Sometimes they will talk about a particular rivalry. It could be it could be England, Australia, it could be India, Pakistan, it could be something else, so they build on to the big event, right? And even after the event has gone, is over, people keep talking about those social media, that campaign on social media. And that actually leads up, very interestingly, that also leads up some of the better campaigns continue till the next one, when the next World Cup takes place. Some, of course, build on consumer engagement, and that is actually one of the core objectives of a campaign, where you bring on, you involve your consumer, you ask them to participate, you want them to engage, you want to see what the sentiment is towards the brand. You get so much data. Dr. Tripathi spoke about data. You get so much data from how your target audience is engaging with your brand based on these campaigns, right? If your campaign is successful, or if it's well liked, you can build a lot of credit for your brand. You can get feedback. It's related to the previous point. You get feedback. People will generally talk about what they feel about the brand, maybe what the brand is doing right, and even what the brand may not be doing right. And that critical feedback is important for a brand. Not ideally on social media, because it's out there for everyone to see. But if a brand is agile enough, a brand will quickly, try to rectify those issues. And finally, strengthening the brand community. When you like a brand, the iPhone or the Apple products rather, is a good example of a brand where the community is so strong. Everybody who believes in the Apple product, will say, hey, we only use Apple product. So it's a very Apple versus Android, demarcation. I'm an Apple user, I'm an Android user. And yeah, anything that Apple puts out as a campaign, and one of the campaigns we will be talking about later, it sort of builds the community together, brings the community together. So now there are certain steps to create and manage campaigns, and these are the usual steps. These are the logical steps that most brands would take, most agencies would take. After I take you through these are very logical, and I'm sure most of you probably are aware of this. I will tell you how these translate when they come from a client to an agency, and how they are translated and how they are approached. So step one is, of course, define your campaign goals. Now, defining goals is the number one step in anything that you do. And I think this is something that Dr. Tripathi also mentioned, excuse me, during this session. If you don't have any goals, you don't know what you're working towards, right? You don't know what your metrics will be. You don't know what what you want from your campaign. So number one has to be your campaign goals. And it could be any of the goals that I mentioned previously. Second is you will identify the channels you use. Now, like I said, some campaigns would run across social media, your social media platforms. Some would focus only on one platform, but will also be promoted on other platforms. So these are the strategy you will have to identify at this point. Are we focusing on one platform? Are we focusing on all platforms? How are we approaching this campaign? Third is, of course, choosing the metrics you want to track. Is the client going to be happy with the reach? Does the client want engagement? Does the client want X number of followers to increase on this platform or that platform? What is it that will determine that the campaign has been a success or not? Then you plan your campaign strategies. Once you've decided which platform you'll be in, what is the kind of content you will be creating, what is the kind of will there be a hero content? If there is a hero content, for example, if there's a brand film, then how do we use elements of that brand film or the campaign, and how do we adapt it to a Facebook? How do we adapt it to Twitter? How do we adapt it to Insta? So obviously Instagram will be visually led. Twitter will be whatever best you can make out of 280 characters. Do you want to put out a poll on Instagram? Do you want to put out a poll on Twitter? How do you want to approach it? So that will be your campaign strategy. Once you've decided your strategy, you create a content calendar. This is important because obviously you will want to know which content piece is going to go out first. Should we start with teasers, or should we just put out the brand film right there? Should we put out the campaign film there? Should we start with teasers? Where should we put the first teaser out? So if you typically see these days, when there are film campaigns or films are being released, they will they'll put out a little teaser, then they'll follow it up with the trailer, and then finally the movie comes out. And even there, some of them would lead up. Maybe like Stranger Things does it really nicely. If you see Twitter, they have Stranger Things have the character upside down, which is the core of Stranger Things. Then, of course, you manage your campaign. Managing your campaign means what? You see whether you want to, are you pushing paid content on certain platforms, or is it all organic? How many days do you want to put certain content on certain platforms, etc. And finally, you analyze the results. Now, this is important, obviously, because this is what clients are looking for at the end of the day, right? What have we achieved? We put in X amount of money in this campaign. So what have we achieved? So obviously, it's an extremely important step. Now, those were the steps, like I mentioned, and this is how we interpret it, right? And those steps actually come under these 5 points. The brief. Now, the brief, when it comes from the client, the brief is absolutely. It has to be absolutely clear. The agency or whoever's creating it, whoever's responsible for creating the campaign, and the client have to be 100% aligned on what they want from the campaign and what would be a successful campaign. Because if at the starting point that's not clear, the execution, the result will never be. I mean, the result could actually be better sometime, but there has to be an alignment of what the client wants and what the agency has understood that the client wants. So the brief has to be absolutely clear. So at this stage, what we usually do is we ask as many questions as possible. Okay. And some of the questions that we'll ask our client are, What do we want to achieve? Like we said, those objectives that we went through. Do you want more engagement? Do you want more followers? How much engagement do you want? How many impressions do you want? Will you count likes? What is, so it is all those questions. And we go into granular details because that helps us tailor our campaigns, that helps us know where we are headed. Second is, obviously, we will ask them, where will we find a target audience? And this will be based on audience personas, on audience preferences. Where is the consumer? Where will I find my consumer if I'm doing something, say for one of the soap operas on Star TV, one of those Hindi channels. I don't think I will find them maybe on Twitter. So should I do a Twitter campaign then at all? So these are different questions that we ask, or maybe I'm wrong and my perception is wrong, and this is the time, this is the stage at which I get that clarified. Which platforms, based on where my target audience will be, we decide which platforms will be present on. It's very important to know what the budget is, right? If I have 20 lakhs as a budget, then my strategy changes. Okay, in 20 lakhs, I can't do a 5-minute campaign film because it's going to cost a lot more. So then what do I do? Do I do a smaller film, a 1-minute or 2-minute film? Who are the influencers? Do I need any big influencers, or should I go with smaller influencers? Should I go with macro influencers who will not cost me as much, but maybe my reach becomes wider? So your budget also will determine a lot of your strategy. And what's the duration of the campaign? Is it a 1-month thing? Is it a 2-month thing? Do you want it to, say, if we are building up to an event, do you want the campaign to continue after the event? What is the kind of data that you hope to get out of it? So this is how we interpret the brief. Going to ideation and creation. Now this is my favorite part because I come from a creative and content background. So this is where I enjoy the process the most. Once we've understood what the client wants, we get right down to brainstorming. Now, brainstorming is what? Brainstorming is just everyone getting their ideas together. Ideally, a brainstorming session should be, it should just be like 30 minutes of unfiltered, whatever thoughts are coming to you, just bring them to the table, have a discussion, figure out if, there is a spark. So sometimes what happens is I may have an idea, but that idea may not work. It may not. It may be a fabulous idea, but it may not execute well, right? So what typically happens, somebody builds on that idea, and we sometimes combine two ideas, we run it past people, we do a little survey saying, hey, if we did that, how would you respond to it, or would you respond to it at all? So these are little things that we do to try and gauge, if our ideas would work. And for me, I think the formula for a winning campaign idea is, if you have a key insight and you combine that with a clutter breaking idea. And to give you an example, if you've followed Dove, if you've been following Dove as a brand, now Dove is all about real women. It's about shattering stereotypes that are associated with women, with beauty, and then building beautiful campaigns around women. I mean, women as real as they can be. So one of the insights, for example, for the recent campaign, which was Stop the Beauty Test, was that when women are about to get married in India, they sort of they go through, in the process of this matchmaking, they go through this thing where they're not tested, but they're their beauty, like their physical beauty, is given so much importance, right? So this was an insight that Dove had, and they said, hey, let's break this sort of approach. Let's get people talking about it at least. And they did. So the hashtag that they ran with was Stop the Beauty Test, and that also led with the brand film, where they worked with real women who had undergone those experiences, and where they had probably been rejected by suitors, by families, saying this is not right, this is not good enough, blah 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 blah. And they came up with an idea that was considered very strong. In fact, what they did was, as part of the campaign, they also sort of reached out to the matrimonial pages of certain newspapers, and they said, let's drop these words. Let's drop phrases like fair and good looking. because when we talk about beauty like this, it's very superficial. So so it was a sort of a hard-hitting campaign, and it was on social media as well. And then also at this stage, we like I said, we think of what the hero content is going to be, which is going to be the biggest chunk of the campaign, and how we're going to adapt content from that hero content onto various platforms. So if that platform is going, if that campaign is, we decided going to be on say Twitter and Instagram, then and the hero content is a brand film, then can I use stills from the brand film on my Instagram, or do I need to do a photo shoot with the different people and build different stories on Instagram, because Instagram is visually led.
So the topic is the preface to digital and social media marketing with a special focus on modern tools. Now, speaking of the modern tools, there are many. Since, as I said, it's a comprehensive topic, I'd be touching base with most aspects of the topic, but I'll be touching more upon the more important aspects which are used by companies and which also hold a lot of promise in terms of research in the academic domain. So the flow of presentation would be like this. I'd be giving you an insight about the meaning, scope, and importance of digital marketing. Then speaking about the essence of, because that people here in the audience might not be exposed to the difference between the old ways of marketing and this new way of marketing. So there are 6 specific eyes which we call the 6 eyes of difference between the traditional and the digital. So I'll be touching base with these 6 eyes. Then a bit about social media marketing and the other modern tools. So that in all sums up my presentation. So speaking about the meaning, scope, and importance. So at the outset, again, first and foremost, so let me share that digital marketing is a form of marketing which uses the digital technology which operates on an electronic device. And the reason the companies are using it, because the customers are there in hordes. Post 2010, with the amount of internet literacy, with the amount of internet penetration that we had in the country, there was an upsurge in the number of subscribers, and that directly translated into business for the corporates. So in terms of numbers, if I could do a number crunching, there were 190 trillion emails that were sent in 2020. That accounts for around 12.8 million emails per second. So that is only one part, because email is just a part of digital marketing. So what exactly is digital? Some people say it's about the technology. Some say it's about a new way of doing business. Some still say that it is a way of engaging with the customers. And not all of these are wrong. In fact, digital is a combination of all of these. So it is highly tempting for a novice like me to know what exactly is the simplest form or simplest definition of digital marketing. But one underlying thing which is there in digital is that it should be seen less as a thing and more as a way of doing things, because it actually facilitates things. Even the old marketeers, or even the companies which are ardent followers of the old ways of marketing, they have incorporated the digital setup in one way or the other. I'll take one example specifically from the life insurance side, which is LIC. Not known for its, can say, in terms of the legacy, it's not known as an adopter of technology, but it has of late, uh, taken this digital to new heights. So to break down what exactly digital is, we have 3 main pointers in this regard. The first pointer is that uh, digital marketing is about creating value at the new frontiers of the business world. Now, what it means is that by digital, it is about creating new forms of businesses. How else would you explain Uber moving into Uber Eats? How else would you explain companies which were traditionally into businesses not known for their liking, they have embraced those businesses? It's just because of the power of the digital. In the logistics industry, the use of sensors and big data. And if I were to talk about data, which was very nicely touched upon by Dr. Tripathi yesterday. So the use of big data, analytics, all this has uh, enabled the companies to improve the efficiency of the supply chain. Now, a supply chain is a value-added chain which starts from the supplier and ends to the consumer. At every stage of the supply chain, some value is added. So digital has actually improved the efficiency of the supply chain. And then you have to look at the customer side as well. There is a pre-purchase stage, there is a post-purchase stage. At every stage, from giving information to giving the right product to after sales to a relationship after sales, which can say continues, which actually then translate into the lifetime value of the customer, which was again explained by Dr. Tripathi yesterday. All this has a digital essence of digital at the core. That means understanding how the customer behaviors and expectations are inside and outside of the business. And I have highlighted this point, the pandemic, which is still which has waned, which has become less potent, but it's still there. The COVID pandemic has had a deep impact of unlocking new avenues. So, so the things we could have done, we would have eventually done, say 4 5 years. Hence, we are now doing it. That's all because of the power of the digital. So, this is the first thing, that it is now creating new frontiers for the business. What else? So, disruption caused by the pandemic has pushed us into a world of, it was actually a world of VUCA even before the pandemic, but now the VUCA has become more pronounced. VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. This world was already a VUCA. It has been thrown, that world of uncertainties have been deeply thrown into by the, can say, rampaging pandemic. So product launches and purchases are no longer the same. We have ushered into a new normal. So consequently, the marketing and the advertising industry is orienting itself more towards the digital marketing to keep pace with the changing trends. The environment is changing fast, as it is changing at a fast clip. So to maintain the pace, the companies have to match that pace. And it begs a question. The question whose answer was very very brilliantly given in a recently held virtual summit of SOCHAM. That summit was on branding and marketing. So Saugata Gupta, who is the director and CEO of Marico Limited, which is very famous for its parachute brand of coconut oil, he said that low cost of failure and quick go-to-market products would urge companies and entrepreneurs to experiment with newer models. Now, he cites an example from his own industry. He says that FMCG companies are working on a test trial models that will yield result within 30 40 days. So all those models, because everything starts with an idea, so ideation to product, it's a long process. So he says that with the advent of the digital, that process will now be can say squeezed to 30 40 days as opposed to a 6 month wait and watch period. That is the power of the digital. So hence, all thanks to our digital ecosystem, now well entrenched into the business. Now I have specifically used this word entrenched. It has seeped into the business, can say, mindsets of people. You just cannot do it. Some people say that it's a tool, not a form of marketing. I beg to differ. I say that it's a combination of both. You love it or you hate it, but you have to accept the fact that now it is a way of life, which is called digital. So creating value in the process that executes a vision of customer experiences. So now as customer experiences, they have to improve. The companies, they have to work upon the existing state of the customer. It is very important uh, to think about the customer in his can say journey uh, from the information collection stage to a brand loyalty stage. So, as I said, the supply chain is very critical to the flexibility, efficiency. By the same token, now this thing which was not there in the earlier form of marketing, and uh, I, I would be too harsh when I say earlier form of marketing, because that old type of marketing still there, and will can say in all probability be there, because you know that for certain products that type of marketing will always remain relevant. So data and metrics. Now, in terms of making an analysis about the data, in terms of can say storage of the data, in terms of quick decision making, in terms of driving the fortunes of sales and marketing decisions, this is the difference that data or digital marketing has contributed to the entire landscape across all business industries. So critically, it is not just about working to deliver a one-off customer experience. It's about an wholesome experience. It's about an important dynamic. The dynamics have changed. There has been a paradigm shift from the old ways of marketing to this new normal. It's about implementing a cyclical dynamic where the processes and the capabilities are constantly evolving based on the inputs from the customer. And I say the inputs from the customer because it's the initiative of the customer upon which can hinges the fortune of this new form of marketing, which again increases or fosters the can say product loyalty or the service loyalty. And the most important thing is that the companies are building foundational capabilities across this ecosystem, and that is now holding the structure of the companies. That again can be divided into the can say mindsets, because all large MNCs, they have got cross-functional teams. Their can say collaboration is hugely dependent on a digital landscape. The hierarchies, they have been flattened, and environments are there to encourage the generation of new ideas, because the flow of ideas, the range of ideas, and now since you have got the technology to build upon those ideas, that has given a new range of flight to those ideas, and those ideation to product is actually taking shape with the digital in the backdrop. So incentives and metrics are developed to support such decision making. So uh, now everything can be measured. The data that is stored, it can be measured. Companies are acting on that data. They are thinking about the return on investments. ROI is a big factor. Content is a big factor. We'll can say touch base with that aspect as well. So these three are there, and the can say other part of the legacy system or the foundational capabilities is the system and the data architecture. Uh, we have seen that the consumerization of IT is can say happening. Now, what exactly is that? So consumerization is like so products they which are meant for the customers, they are extended to the business domain as well. So the consumerization of IT is can say happening. Cloud is there, and all these cross-functional teams which are operating inside a company, they find it very easy in a digitized IT atmosphere to build networks, to connect devices, objects, and people. Now everything, there is a seamless flow of information, there is a seamless flow of people connect, there is a seamless flow of system connect, call it anything. It's just because at the backdrop, at the heart of it, at the fulcrum, it is the pivot which the company is now revolving, that is called digital. So a very uh, a very reputed leading IT company named Cognizant, they have described it as SMAC. Now SMAC stands for social, M for mobile, A for analytics, and C for cloud. Now when I talk of social, then companies they have to come to the social media. They were actually forced to come to the social media because uh, a majority of the users were there. When we think about social, the key is to consider why social is happening. Again, everything related to digital marketing should be associated with the why and not the how. For example, Facebook, Twitter, and so on are the tools, but why people use them is much more important. Uh, every tool or every different channel of social media has its own USPs, and depending upon the usage criteria of those channels, companies they can choose to create their campaigns accordingly. uh, it was it was same when the internet came in the initial years of the first decade of the century, and people thought that it was uh, something struck them like anything. It was just a type of lighting, but later it became a part of their lives. So social is because people are there on the virtual space, and hence it makes a lot of sense for the companies to be there uh, on that uh, on that platform. But those goals and objectives have to be smart. Smart again, specific, M for measurable, A for actionable, R for realistic, and T for time bound. So again, uh, companies, they are using the kinds of social platforms to generate a whole lot of interest, right from information about the products to the actual cancer delivery. And as I was referring to my friend last night, I said that what digital has done is that it has actually morphed all the 7 P's of marketing. Now, and I'm saying it in a literal sense. Those are called the marketing mix, but now they have become a mix in the literal sense because it's very difficult to detach a product from a promotion. Very difficult to detach a price from the place. You are having all of it under the single roof. That is the power of digital. As mobile, no guesses for that. Like social, everybody is on mobile because, as I said, that why mobile? Because a mobile is a new form of non-voice customer service. It is non-intrusive. It does not uh, it does not infringe. It does not invade your privacy. People are on mobile. They feel it very easy to get into chats with the company. They feel it very easy to get into a conversation of on email with the company. So again, that is the power of digital. Analytics, as I said, the data is which comes in hordes, that the data which is in clumps, and that data is getting can say stored, and based on that data, meaningful information is being derived. And why big data? Because again, data mining is a very important concept. Data extraction is a very important concept. Data which again is of some meaning to the company, that is extracted out, and that is again a cumbersome process. But since you have got uh, the systems and the processes in place, that is at the heart of it, uh, you have digital. So again, this now comes back to the question that is about why. It's not just enough to know about why. It's not just enough about to know about the how. It is also about knowing about the why. Why is it happening? Because the customers are there, henceforth the companies, they're bound to be there. And last, cloud, with large clumps of data, you need a good amount of storage and software as a service. Like companies don't need to install some software, so rather they can say, buy these services which are called SaaS. Gmail is a type of SaaS. So all these things which have made our lives convenient, they have the digital at the heart of it. So uh, this is quite justified. And there, I actually missed out on one thing. People said that when when actually Cognizant had described the digital ad smack, then they forgot to add one more C, which is called, which I said that, which is the consumerization of IT. So goods or the products meant for the customer or meant for the customers are now being extended into the business domain. That is the power of digital. So what exactly is the scope of digital marketing? 2016, very near to the demonetization phase, the industry was taken by surprise that 1.5 lakh job opportunities were there in this domain itself. And if that was quite puzzling, that even more intriguing was the fact that in the first quarter of 2017, 8 lakh jobs, nearly 5 to 5.5 times more than the figure of 2016, were there job opportunities in only the first quarter. 1.5 lakhs was for the entire year, and 8 lakhs was for only the first quarter of 2017. That is the power of digital. So what exactly is there? Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, he has been actively promoting the idea of Digital India, and it has gained a massive popularity. Maybe not to the extent he would have liked, but actually it is quite robust. The initiative of the government of India is aimed at providing easy services. Now, now imagine when a nation's government is promoting the interaction in terms of the digital space, what do you think will be the digital marketing scope in that nation? And now fast forward to 2022, digital marketing is slowly but steadily becoming a way of life. As I said, that people have embraced social, people have embraced mobile, people have embraced cloud. Now people have embraced this as a way of life. I believe, and on a lighter note, I would like to share with you, it might cease to be a business or as a tool of a business. It would work as a way of life going forward. And this is all thanks to COVID-19. Things have been accelerated. Things have happened 4 or 5 years earlier. Things that we might have seen 5 or 6 years hence, they have now come into the picture. They're now come to the fore just because of COVID-19. So the flexibility of digital marketing makes it a very important medium. The easiness to use, eco-friendly, no usage of papers, no waste of resources, excellent scope for job opportunities, which I just mentioned, small investments and big returns, David versus Goliath. So, you know that the smaller organizations, startups, they can work at the back of digital media or digital marketing to gain big returns. And the most important part, which actually differentiates it from the traditional form of marketing, is immediate results, real-time results that you can gauge, and high engagement of the user. In fact, it is, as Urvashi ma'am, she put it very rightly, that user-generated content is there for all to see, and it gets viral. There have been examples that user-generated content has become viral. A very high engagement ratio has been seen. This is the power of digital. So, as I said, I'll be speaking about the 6 I's. These 6 I's are the differences between the old type of marketing, that is the traditional form of marketing, versus digital marketing. So, I'll explain it one by one. Interactivity, as the name would suggest, that now it is not a monologue. The earlier form of marketing was basically a monologue. It was a one-way communication. Now it's a proper two-way communication. The customer is the one who actually initiates the contact. It is a pull strategy. The customer is actually seeking information. Very high intensity, high engagement medium. The marketer will have 100% of the individual's attention. Now, this is very important. Attention spans are there, because attention span was not there. Now if can say somehow the customer is interested in your product, you will be rest assured that he will have your attention span, and your attention span will eventually lead you to CTA, which is a term called in digital marketing, which is called call to action. Now, call to action is leading customer to a situation where he'll eventually be can say buying your product. That is the strategy. That is the power of digital. A company can gather and store the response. As I said, this is again a very important feature, and individual needs of the customer can be addressed and taken into account for future dialogues. So internet marketing, the next I is intelligence. Now, with having interaction with the company or having interaction with the customer, the company gains inside out knowledge about the customer. The company gets to know the customer better, and that increases the intelligence of the company with regards to the customer. So internet marketing provides a level of intelligence due to the fact that extensive marketing research or market research is conducted in a cost-effective manner. The internet provides information about consumers, and companies are able to gather this information and use it for their benefit. So this is from Sheffy and Chadwick, 2013. So it's a book. So internet marketing can say provides a wholesome knowledge, a wholesome information about the customer, and that makes the company more intelligent as far as the customer is concerned. Now they can anticipate the moves of the customer. They can now customize the products for the customer, which leads to the next I, that is called individualization. Now, if you know the customer well, you can individualize the products for him. So advertisements and other marketing activities on the internet can be customized to an individual's age, location, gender, interest, and more. And the ability to target a certain demographic area or a geographic area is actually also how the internet marketing excels in individualization. So you have got a customized range of products and services, but that would not have happened had the interaction not been there. That would not have happened had the knowledge about the customer not been there. That is, in order of those I's, this I is in the third place. What comes next is the integration, which is can say quite, which is can say synonymous with the place of the old marketing, which is like there are n number of channels. Now there has been a proliferation of channels. You have got online channels. Inside online channels, you have got social media channels. Then you have got the websites of the companies. You have got aggregators, and then you have got the old brick and mortar uh, shops. You have got the offline channel. You have got the malls. You have got the supermarkets, hypermarkets. Now everything is now integrated, and that leads me to a very important concept, which is called integrated internet marketing communication. The companies are trying to the best of their abilities to create a content, a strategy, a message from all the channels that gives a single message to the customer. Now, the form of communication from different channels to the customer can be different. It can be in terms of text, it can be in terms of the videos, it can be in terms of the infographics, but the message should be same. So the message should be, it should be realistic, it should be relevant, it should be consistent, it should be uniform. That is the aim of IMC. So integration of the online and the traditional channels, we have seen that magazines with QR codes, or billboards with QR codes. Now this is an attempt on part of the companies to combine all these channels so that the customer, there's not a single clutter in the minds of the customer, because there's a lot of clutter. Because if the message goes wrong, if there is not a consistent message, the it creates a whole lot of confusion in the minds of the customer. To uh, to be away from that confusion, the companies have now integrated for the online and the traditional mediums, and all thanks to the digital part. And what else? You are sitting in Delhi, you can order a product from Mumbai. Similarly for the seller, similarly for the buyer, location is now not a big constraint. So the location is independent of the transaction. And what digital marketing has done is that it has removed the intermediaries. Now it is a direct conversation between the company and the customer. The role of middleman has been brought to the fringes. I say fringes because there have been certain industries which were eating into the hard-earned money of the customers. With the advent of the digital, in certain industries, the role of middleman has either been relegated to the fringes, or it has been minimized. And even if there are intermediaries, they are in a new avatar. I say, for example, Policy Bazaar. It is a type of aggregator. It is an intermediary, but it is in a new type of avatar. So again, there uh, disintermediation has happened. But even if the intermediaries are there, they are now much more proficient. They are much more informative now. That is the power of the digital. These are the components of digital marketing. Now, see, as I said, it's a very comprehensive topic. It would take at least 4 or 5 hours in my assessment to touch base with each and every one of them. So these are all part, and I have written internet marketing. Again, I would like to can say create the to can say or dismantle any thoughts about the difference between the digital and the internet marketing, because so digital is mainly about marketing through the marketing through the internet mode, but it can also be done offline. So SMS, so mobile SMS is a classical example of digital marketing done offline. So 95% it is internet marketing, online marketing, but it also uh, constitute 5% of the offline part. So uh, to be away from some type of confusion, so digital is a combination of online and offline marketing. Offline is, of course, is a very little component of it. 95%, a major part of the digital marketing is the online part. So content is a very, because ma'am, so Urvashi ma'am touched in a bit of detail. I won't be going into detail. She said that the content is very important. I have written the last line, it captures it all. Content is the king. Content is the king. Content ही राजा है. Content ही हमारा वर्तमान है. Content ही future है. So content is the present and future of marketing, and content can be of any form. It can be a long form content. It can be a short form content. It can be a text form of content. It can be a video form of content. It can be a combination of video and text. It can be an infographic, but the message conveyed through that content should be same. That is what I said was IIMC. So content marketing is a strategic marketing approach which aims at distributing relevant, valuable, and consistent. This is what I said, consistent. Now the form of the content could be different, but the message should be consistent to attract and retain a clearly defined audience, and ultimately to drive profitable customer action, leading the customers to CTA, that is call to action. Instead of pitching your products, some people are of the view is that products and services don't sell. What sells is the content, 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 content. You cannot be more content by providing good content. This is the can say ideation behind the source of today's businesses. So you are providing truly relevant content to your prospects and customers to help them solve their issues. Big can say organizations like Microsoft, P&G, Hindustan Unilever, and John Deere, they all are banking on content. And content is not about hi-fi English. Content is about the right usage of keywords. Content is about right usage of images, and in today's can say context, right usage of memes as well. The idea is to drive your point through. The medium can be anything, but the idea has to be driven in the right sense, in the right approach, to the right people at the right time. So it's about whether they are big organizations, they are can say one-person shops, even a very small shop with so with a single person at the helm, they can also go for this power of the digital because it works. So there are three main important things. It increases the sales, it reduces the cost, and you have got more customers who are more loyal to you. Social media marketing. So I'll be touching base with this in a bit of detail in the next few slides. So the content marketing strategy comes before the social media strategy. Now, how well Urvashi man spoke about the campaign management, right? At the heart of any campaign is the content. Now, even if your campaign is on social media or on your website or any other platform, content has to be of relevance. SEO, search engines, as we all know that there's a keyword, and based on that keyword, the websites, they get a rank in the search engine results page. And the content is also very important for executing the PR strategies of the firm. That is the public relations strategies, which have now essentially become online, which in the offline mode, even in the offline mode, they were very important, but they have assumed utmost significance in light of the advent of the online media. So PPC, which is all about the paid advertising you do, you again need a great content. Inbound marketing, you need a great content. And for a great content to be good, you ought to have a good content strategy. So these all things, they shape the contours of the content. And going forward, the companies find a lot of traction when they move ahead with their campaigns. So email marketing, now this would seem quite can say mundane for most of you, because email marketing hitherto has been seen to be a very can say common affair. It is a very common affair, but it has a power which is can say unmatched. So email marketing is an improved form of the direct mail marketing, which was done by the companies with the consumers, and in that sense, a letter was sent to the can say customers. Now that has been replaced by the electronic mode. As I said, in 2020 there were 190 trillion emails that were sent worldwide. that breaks down to 28 million emails that have been sent every second. This is the power. And there are different types of emails. There are transactional emails. Uh, there are emails about information which are called the newsletter emails. And again, the power of email is that they are non-intrusive, because you know that there is a type of opt-in system. A customer can opt in for the email marketing is also called permission marketing. You are essentially taking a permission from the customer whether or not you can send your products or the information about your products to them, and for that a subscribers form has to be filled, and to double check whether the customer or the database or the name of the customer and the database about the customer is just correct or not. There is another option which is called the double opt-in. So when a customer double opts in for the email, then he is essentially giving permission to the companies to send them on a regular basis information about their products and services and different information about different ideas about the new things companies doing. So email marketing gets into a regular updates about the company, and it is a form of conversation between the company and the customer on a regular basis. SEO, as I said, is all about free search. You have got a keyword, and then based on that keyword, there are certain algorithms which Google uses, and on that basis you are ranked in terms of the relevance of the search. Now, if I could speak of example. So if somebody typed GoDaddy hosting, so that will eventually lead you, because the name itself leads you to the website, and those words GoDaddy and hosting, they are pronounced in the meta tag and the different web pages of the website. Again, speaking in the same vein, a blog is something now people would say that the blog is something that has lost its relevance in the last few years, but I would beg to differ. I would say that the importance of blog has actually grown a lot, because if you were to see the recent search engine result pages of Google, there are many blogs which have actually come up. A blog is an informational website. Now, say for example, if you are searching for something like a training for cricket, a cricket training in Rohini, so the chances are that Google would show a blog as ranked higher as compared to a website, because blog is more about informational content. Uh, the website is more about the products, but that is not hard and fast rule. I'm just saying normally what happens is that blogs are rated higher, they are ranked higher because of the informational content. They work in a reverse chronological order, and the latest post they appear first, and the blog can be independent of the company. Nowadays the company have amalgamated the blog with the websites, so you just cannot differ the company, or you just cannot mark a difference between the company's website and the blog, because they are so embedded. And then there are individual blogs which people write, they become influencers. They can blogs have the power to make or break the fortunes of the company. It's as simple as that. So now the pertinent question arises: how do marketers go about using tools? When it comes to digital marketing, few things are as important as the tools these marketers use. These includes everything from social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram to analytics tools like Google Analytics, allowing marketers to create, test, and measure the performance of their campaigns, which ma'am spoke yesterday in a bit of detail. Digital marketing tools ensure that marketers can launch and test campaigns very quickly and effectively. So what are the social media platforms? So there are many social media platforms. As I said, I will not be touching base on all of that, but I'll be touching base on those which are very important. So Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you know the basic differences. The type of content differs. Instagram is more about videos. Facebook can have text, videos, and Snapchat is about a chat. So the type of content differs, but as I said, the message remains the same. So these are the great way, or this is a great way for marketers to engage with their audiences and generate a buzz around their brand. I can quote from the buzz around the IPL. Now IPL, the governing body of IPL has got a very strong presence in the social media. A whole lot of followers are there, and they are doing a very aggressive campaign on Facebook and Instagram. So Snapchat, they're not there. In addition to the standard features of these platforms, there are also some features that are specific for marketing. That is, say for example, in Facebook, there is a Facebook Ads Manager, which can allow marketers to run the ads and track the performance on a real-time basis. You know how your ads are performing. And as an added bonus, social media management tools like Buffer and Hotsuite also integrate well with these platforms, making it easy to schedule social posts and measure engagement. Now, if you have got some posts, you have got some campaign, you can schedule it accordingly because you know your can say customer. There's a whole lot of data out there, and there is a whole lot of analysis, and you have got analytical tools like, as I said, the Facebook Ads Manager, Buffer, and Hotsuite. Now comes the design part. Again, content can be great, but if that content is not curated, if that content is not designed, then it leaves a whole lot of bad impression. It leaves a bit of a bad taste. So another key part of digital marketing is design, and this is especially common when it comes to creating ads and content like social media posts and blog posts, because uh, a design heavy field, because it is a very creative field. It is a niche field. Not everyone can be a successful digital marketer. So it 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 cannot be done without having proper design tools in place. And so of late, very beautiful tools like Canva and Photoshop, they they have come into existence, and they allow uh, those features that if your campaign, if your ad does not have a good graphic design, they add a lot of dynamic images to their content, and that in turn become a great campaign. So analytic tools, so Facebook Insights, and Google Analytics and Twitter Analytics, what they do is that they have certain predefined KPIs, key performance indicators. Now these are the metrics, and they can be like anything. As I was teaching my students, giving an overview, I said that there was an organization in the US which had a key performance indicator in terms of the monthly sales. And as luck would have it, one fine day, the manager of the company said that, yes, our sales are very good. Our campaign is highly successful. Upon a deep introspection, they saw that the sales was happening. It was quite good. But the sales was happening in the last week of the month. That left a big question to be asked. What about the initial 3 weeks of the month? And that was a research gap, so to say, because had they got a performance indicator that tracked those can say initial 3 weeks, that would have been a far better indicator than that last can say week indicator, because you were getting a monthly indicator on the basis of the last week of the month. So then they designed their KPIs according to a week, and then they subsequently pruned it to the indicators for a day, indicators for an hour, indicators based on gender. You can have n number of indicators, and those are far more can say impacting insights, or far more impacting KPIs than they originally had. This is just one a case. This is just a case in point. This is a one-off example, and there can be many. So Facebook Insights and Twitter Analytics, and off late, there is again a tool called Periscope that tracks the user data and the site searches and the conversion metrics. So all these tools, they are in place. Then content marketing, I have already touched upon. There is a post schedule, and ma'am said, Urvashi ma'am said that now you have got a very effective calendar in place. So this post schedule, it has got calendar in place, and you can design your content in and around the dates you are trying to launch the campaign. Similarly, for HubSpot, they can help they can help the marketers to identify the content opportunities, and then craft a very engaging blog in social media that will resonate. And as I said, again a very important tool called Buffer. It also has the ability to see what the fans are talking about on social media. Now fans, they talk a lot about their teams, about the outfits they are supporting, and based on what they are talking, further campaigns can be built upon. This is the power of the content marketing. And last, email marketing tools. Email I have already touched. Mailchimp and Iterable. They are two very can say prominent email marketing platforms, and they help the organizations automate their email campaigns. And as I said, email is a very powerful medium. The campaigns which are built on emails have uh, have a lot of impact on the can say customer, and that leads to the call to action, because eventually there have been companies in the US and in Indian context as well, where companies they have used the can say emails, and that eventually has led to the call for action, and that has led to increased sales, and the metrics have shown that the campaign has been very successful. I'll take so on a parting note, I'll take two examples from life insurance because that happens to be my area of research. Now, I have taken this example from Bajaj Allianz, a very can say reputed company. So Bajaj, the you can say Indian partner, Allianz is from Germany. So they are leading a very successful joint venture named Bajaj Allianz Life. So, so maximizing the digital reach, how have they done it? So Bajaj Allianz was the fastest growing life insurer in December 2020, at a time when it was definitely every other player was in deep and dire straits with a rampaging COVID pandemic. It was the lone survivor, and it had shown 41% growth in the new business for retail, because the insurance policies are of two types. So one for normal people like us on an individual basis, which is called retail, and one for can say for people uh, who take it in form of group. So that is called a group policy, that is for a company buy. So in terms of the retail segment, there was a very robust growth, a 41% growth. So Bajaj Allianz Life introduced many digital tools, and at the back of this growth was a sound digital policy that was in place, that made e-meetings simpler, that provided and helped the agents to do business better. What exactly did they did? Now, they had taken certain initiatives. Face-to-face meetings were less because of the pandemic. People were forced to be there in the confines of their home. And Bajaj Allianz introduced many digital tools, especially designed for their agents to empower them with the information and to make e-meetings quite easy. So what were the tools? Some of the tools included a smart assist for virtual meetings, because there is, I have cited these two companies, Bajaj Allianz and Max Life, because they are the companies who neither have the legacy of an LIC, nor do they have the banking power of HDFC Life, SBI Life. They are companies which are not owned by a bank. They are companies which are standalone companies, and in spite of that, they stood out. The reason was that they had built an ecosystem which was absolutely based on the digital space. Their ecosystem in terms of the digital was very robust, and smart assist for virtual meetings, quick quote to share quotations to the prospect customers on WhatsApp, a digital learning platform. Now, this was a very new and a pioneering type of innovation, where they started a digital learning platform called InstaLearn. Their agents could learn, their customers could learn, and in the pandemic, the learning quotient was very high. And eSampark, this was again a type of tool they had, that was a tool to personalize and share marketing collaterals with the prospect digital. Now, the marketing collaterals in the insurance space is about all the materials, all the information about the products and services of a life insurance company that used to come in form of pamphlets, but now is being distributed digitally. So everything was there in this e-Sampark, and that made them the leader at a time when every company was at its abysmal best, right? It had actually gone down the trail, and all these companies, they had gone down the barrel. At that moment, it stood out as a shining armor, this Bajaj Alliance. So insurance companies have the opportunity to create new sources of revenue by rethinking their roles, which are traditional, but again, the ecosystem has changed, the mindset has changed, the mindset has seeped into the can say minds of the customer, and the mindset is all for the digital. So insurance companies, they have to seize this opportunity. This is not my quote. This is the quote from the MD and CEO of Bajaj Allianz. And again, as a second example, as the COVID-19 outbreak induced a health emergency across the globe, Max Life, it worked out on a face-to-face interface with the customer. The pandemic, it was actually quite very challenging. One such story is that of Max Life Insurance. The Indian insurance major looked at the looming health risk with a growth mindset. Now, it is like exploring opportunity in adversity. Now, there was an adverse condition with a rampaging COVID pandemic, with a loss of life and livelihoods. The pandemic was racing through the lives and the livelihoods. At that moment, Max came with a new type of innovation that was again a cultural transformation, so to say, and built the systems and products which were more customer centric and meaningful. Engaging with the prospects, they had an app which was called I Am the Difference. And that helped to develop the agent advisors to have access to all the digital tools and the marketing literature at a given time. The company also built microsites. Now, microsites is a very known, a very can say little known aspect of digital marketing. Microsites are can say one-page websites that are actually built around the product, around the campaign. A very important example of this can say Audi campaign. Now, Audi has launched a microsite which has eventually, which actually helped Audi to raise a lot of sales. So, on similar lines, Max had built the microsite which was very helpful for its agents, and the customers could get snippets of the video, and then they got to know about the company and the plans, and that ensured a proper connect with the customers and the company and the agents. So, and this is my last slide, rethinking traditional roles. What is the need of the hour for the company is to develop a digital ecosystem. If I were to talk about life insurance, agents are still relevant. They will always be relevant, but albeit they'll be in a digital avatar. So digital policy sourcing and digital claims will be the new norm, and it will be the new normal. And balancing the distribution with in terms of digital agility, something done admirably by LIC in India. Now, LIC, very few people would be knowing that in June 2020, it was having a market share of around 74%. January 2022, this share, it got eroded by around 13-14%. They currently sit with a 61% market share, just because they did not have a good digital platform or an ecosystem in place like Max and Bajaj. Now, even a company like LIC, this is cancer suffering, even at a time when they had just got their IPO out. So all this has got a very important implications for the companies, that they have to get their act together, they have to pull up their socks, they have to think digital, they don't have to leave the traditional, but they have to imbibe, they have to ingrain digital in their lives. So with this, I thank you all for being a very patient audience. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you. Any questions, I would be very happy to answer.
Thank you, sir, for such an informative session on preface of digital marketing. It was indeed enriching, sir. Now I request the audience to ask any question if they want to. Any questions from the audience side? Sir, there are one question in the chat box that are there any specific social media channels, and how company decide on the content strategy for each channel?
Right. So, ma'am, so social media, there is again, there is no one channel. Social media is a combination of a whole lot of channels like Twitter, like Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and YouTube. So I mean to say that since there is a combination of channels, as I said, uh, any content strategy, it has to be channel specific. Now I cannot send private information through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is out and out a professional channel. Similarly, those strategies, those content which are essentially more image based, they are better served through Instagram. And then we have got text to Facebook. So I mean to say that there is no one size fits all. There is can say different strategies for different channels, and I believe a combination of strategies would serve the customer best, and the companies can be on the lookout with the fact that they can always have different strategies clubbed into one. Yes, the form of the content could be different, but the message should be same. That is what I called IMC. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for clearing the doubt of the participants. Sir, there is one more question from Sanprit, which says that what relevance the traditional marketing mixes have in the digital space?
Right. So, ma'am, the difference, as I said, that of late, the distance, the difference, it now ceases to be there, because, as I said, they are all morphed into one. You just cannot disassociate a place with the price. You can say have them in a single place. Now, Facebook, if it can say gives you the can say information about the product, then it is acting as a promotion as well, and you can actually buy the product from there as well. So all the can say 7 P's of marketing, they have now morphed into one, and literally speaking, they are a combination. They are so attached, then you just cannot separate them. You just cannot speak of price or place in isolation. You have to speak of all of them in tandem, because they are all one now.
Thank you, Dr. Tanmay, for your wonderful session. It was indeed enriching. Thank you for your time. Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much.
I
And
have a question.
sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Dipanshu this side. Hello,
Yes,
am I audible?
yes,
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 sir.
yes, Dipanshu, please.
Sir, there are some specific social media channels. So, how they decide on the content strategy for the each channel? And one more thing I would like to ask. That is my observation, not a question. As I am working in a bank, so we are taking digital initiatives in our banking sector also. So during COVID-19 situation, we sold banca products. So, but sir, how did agents use digital tools, specifically LIC? Because LIC don't have as such a special channel for selling products online. So kindly
Yes.
guide on this.
Yes, yes. So a very good question, Dipanshu ji. Like as you rightly said that LIC, as I said that the LIC was a major loser in terms of not can say having a good ecosystem in place in terms of the digital. So what LIC has done now is that so they have got a digital setup which is called Anand. It has been launched the last month, and that is all about creating new initiatives for the agent. That will be a one-stop solution where agents and customers can meet online, because the LIC foresees, because this is not a can say stopgap arrangement. It is a long-term arrangement where LIC sees itself as an insurer of repute, and can say moving forward, it takes into account that the COVID-19 will can say still remain a lot more relevant, and it has subsided down, but not to the extent that the businesses have become normal. Yes, they have become normal, but then again, there's still a lot of social distancing and all. Keeping that in mind, LIC has developed a new portal which is called Anand. That is an interface between the company's agent and the customers, and the LIC believes that it will now create an ecosystem for it, and it will can say help it to revamp its can say digital space, and the lost market share can be regrouped and can say closed. So I believe, sir, and you are absolutely right. Yes, can say bank assurance, all those private companies, they have gained the market share at the expense of LIC. Now LIC is trying to can recover lost ground. So thank you, Dipanshu ji.
Thank you, Tanmay, sir. Any other question from the audience side? Okay, so with this, we end this session. Thank you, Tanmay, sir, for your time. Ma'am, you
Yes.
can play the slideshow for this. It's not
Yes, sir.
completely visible. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, now it's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So the topic is demystifying digital marketing tools for business growth, and I'll be speaking on the two tools of digital marketing. One is AdSense and another is affiliate marketing. And before we start with these tools, I'll give you a brief introduction of traditional marketing, what traditional marketing is. So in simplest of its sense, if we look at marketing, then simply it is just customer satisfaction at a profit. If your customers are not satisfied with your business offers, your business cannot survive and you cannot earn profit. So to satisfy the customers, it is very important to understand them, because if the product is relevant to them and if it offers value for money to them, only then they will come to you and they will buy your products and services. So the key is to connect with the audience with the relevant offer in the right place and at the right time. Now, which is the right place to connect with the audience? Now, the right place is where your target customers are spending most of their time. Now, if we talk about today's scenario, where do we all spend most of our time? Most of our time we are in front of a screen, be it our laptop, desktop, or mobile phone. Most of us are connected over internet. And there is an adage which says wherever the honeybees go, bears follow. So now this quotation is very apt for marketing as well. Internet initially was not for marketing purpose, but the moment internet allowed commercial activities, marketers, they were quick to realize this opportunity. Internet has endless opportunities for the marketers. So most of the customers, most of us today are using internet in one or another form, and that is why most of the marketers are there, right? So now the question is, which is the most popular media today? Obviously, it is internet. We are in front of our screen. Radio took 38 years to become popular, and television took 13 years. But the internet, in just 4 years of time span, it surpassed it. And today we can say that it is the most popular media across gender, across the age groups, across different social, you can say segments. People across these demographic factors are using internet. And that is why marketers, for marketers, it is one of the, you can say, the most important media in their marketing strategy. Now, internet users in India, uh, we all know that internet revolution, it has transformed our world. It has transformed the social and economic landscapes of the world. And India is not an exception. It is also is in the middle of an e-revolution. And there is one report by Nokia, and this report says that uh, in the world there are 76.5 crore internet. In India there are 76.5 crore internet users, and the main reason is that we have the lowest data tariffs in the world. And on an average, an Indian spends around 2.36 hours on social media, and it is the daily consumption. And uh, the number of internet users in India has also grown to 658 crores, and which is roughly 47% of its total population. So this is the data, and then our topic is digital marketing. So what is digital marketing? Tanmay sir has already explained it well, so I will not take much time on this. For a layman, digital marketing is the marketing activities which will use some digital technologies, right? And digital technologies like the websites of different business organizations, social media, then emails, blogs, and newsletters. And in the digital world, Google is the undisputed king. 90%, though Google is a search engine, but 90% of its revenue is derived from advertising. And this Google is the market leader in online advertising for well over a decade, and it is followed by Facebook. And over the years, Google has developed and acquired so many advertising tools that allow the content writers, publishers to monetize their content. Right. So, one second. Now we will demystify our digital marketing tools. Today, I will focus on these two tools, Google AdSense and affiliate marketing. So first thing is Google AdSense. AdSense is a platform where which will provide you an opportunity to monetize your internet space. So AdSense makes sense for any site owner who wants a little help monetizing their traffic. So if you have a website, Google AdSense will help you to monetize the space on your website by publishing advertisements, and passively you'll be able to earn money. Now, what exactly Google AdSense is? It is an advertising platform, and passively it will help you generate revenue. All you need to have is a website or a blog or a YouTube channel, and you can monetize your websites, blogs, or YouTube channels. Now, how? Uh, think of a newspaper, right? Suppose there is a very popular newspaper, and if you want to place your ad on that, you need to buy the advertising space. So this Google AdSense, it works on that basic principle that it will provide you an advertising space, and Google will place the ads of its clients on your website. And when the visitors of your website will click on the ad, then the Google will get money, and it will share some part of that with the website owner. So it allows users to monetize their online content by setting aside spaces that Google can fill with adverts which are relevant. Main important thing to note here is that Google will not place any type of advertisement on your website or on your web page. No, it has the tools and technology to identify what type of products are more relevant to the customers who are the visitors of your website. So the relevant advertisements will be published on your web page. Now, how does it work? There are so many advertisers who are looking for the advertising space. And if your website is very popular, if your YouTube channel is very popular, and you have so many subscribers, that means you have a lot of online traffic. And so many people will visit your web page or your YouTube channel. And if it is more popular, then there are so many advertisers who would like to place their advertisement on your web page. So there is a lot of demand for the advertising space over internet, and it simply means more money, more relevant ads, and more ad spaces filled, because there are so many advertisers who are looking for that. So you can monetize your web space. So because this opportunity exists, so what Google did, it used this as an opportunity, and the AdSense, it help in optimizing the size of the ad units to automatically fit desktop or mobile. So it is not that the particular advertisement can be seen only on particular device, right? These ads are very responsive, and they adjust according to the device where they are being browsed. And to open an AdSense account, Google will provide you a code, and this code you have to add in your in the URL of your website, and then Google will start working automatically. The relevant ads will start appearing on your web page. So this AdSense will give you a piece of Google's advertising pie. Like we said that Google's major revenue comes from advertising. So Google is also sharing that advertising revenue with different website owners, YouTube channel owners. So when brands buy Google ads, they pay for click. Pay per click, you understand na? That when the customer will click on a link of an advertisement, then the advertiser will pay to the Google. But it is not only that. AdSense will also help you monetize the impression. It means that if your advertisement appears, if one advertisement appears on your web page, then the advertiser will pay to the Google, and Google will share the commission with the website owner. So this is how the AdSense work. Now, the biggest challenge, for AdSense is that sometimes it may happen that your website may have an advertisement of your competitor, or your website may also have an offensive ad which your customers, your visitors do not find good in taste. So in that case, instead of helping you, if the competitor's advertisement is appearing, then it is not good for your business. And if it is offensive, customers will not like visiting your website. So to avoid that, Google AdSense, it allows you to block up to 200 URLs from appearing on your website. But this is a very tedious task. For doing this, you need to know what type of ads are appearing on your website, right? So Google will help you in blocking the you can say the irrelevant or the competitive advertisement and offensive advertisement. So this is all about the Google AdSense, and now we'll proceed to affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing, it is a form of marketing which helps you promote your product through other person. And the person who is promoting your product will get a commission on every sale which is made by that person. And there are so many influential people. Digital marketing is a tool to enhance the reach, and affiliate marketing will help you in that by using the followers or subscribers of the people who are influential in their area. And it is using the reach of an individual to your advantage, because the person to whom you are affiliated with, that person is very popular, and you can use that individual person's reach to promote your product. And in return, the affiliate will earn the commission. And this affiliate, it need not to be an individual always. It can be an organization as well. How does it work? The affiliate will promote the product, be it a good or a service or an idea, and the affiliate can use any of the online media like the YouTube video or a blog, and will provide the links. And if the visitor clicks on that link and they buy it, then the affiliate will earn the commission. This affiliate marketing is a performance-based marketing. The more the affiliate sell, the more commission that person will earn. Now, this affiliate marketing is a win-win, mutually beneficial win-win relationship for the merchant and for the affiliate. The merchant will get a sales force who will assist him in expanding the awareness of their brand, and it will help them in reaching to their target customers, and they will be able to achieve their sales targets. For the affiliate, because they are influential, they have a following, they have subscribers, so it will give them an opportunity to earn commission, right? So it is a mutually beneficial relationship for both. And there are some best affiliate marketing practices. Now we will discuss these practices. First is that the marketer should partner with high reputation affiliates, because your objective is to enhance your reach. And if your affiliates are reputed ones, if they have a following, if they have built a trust, and if they recommend your product to the customers, they are going to buy that. Uh, Especially when your business is new, it is not famous, or you're operating at a small level. In that case, affiliate marketing can help, because in that case, you can encash the reputation of your affiliates. And the best way is to choose to cooperate with publishers who have established reputation and who have an engaged audience who trusts them, right? And there is no harm if you get associated with high reputed affiliates. It will help you in the long run. Then you should leverage your content marketing. Content marketing is very important in digital marketing. If you have relevant content, if it is presented in the best way, then it is going to help you. So content marketing is indispensable for high effective affiliate marketing strategy, because your affiliates with their reputation will make the customers click on the links. But ultimately, it is your content on your website which will make them buy the product. So to leverage your content marketing, first thing is that you should make sure that your site, your website loads fast. If it takes long time, people don't have much time over internet, they will switch to some other website. So your site loading speed should be fast. The content should be informative. Not only informative, it should be relevant to your target audience, right? Because we know that over internet, customers, they are active participants. Like television and radio, they are not passive listeners and viewers. No, they are active participants. Only if they find some information attractive, relevant, only then they will interact with that piece of advertisement. Otherwise, they will not. So your content should be informative and it should be relevant to your target audience needs. Then the way you display your products is very important, because when we go for online shopping, and if the products are not displayed in an attractive way, if the picture quality is not good, we assume that the quality of that product is not good. And there are many websites, they will display the same product but with different standards. So if you are displaying your product with good quality and attractive photographs, then only customers will get attracted towards that and they will buy that. And another important thing is that you should feature customer reviews to build trust. Because if there are no reviews, and if customer buys from you and after purchasing it, the customer will look at the quality and design, and if it is not satisfactory, then the customer will return it. So it is always better that to win the trust of your customers, you should feature the customer reviews, and these reviews will help customers in taking their buying decisions, because ultimately these things help us as a customer to decide what products to buy and what not. because the websites which do not feature these reviews, their rate of return is quite high. Next is align the payment model with affiliate marketing strategies goals. Now, in affiliate marketing, there are three ways publishers they can get paid. First is pay per sale, then we have pay per click, and then pay per lead. Now, pay per sale, it is a standard affiliate marketing structure. It means the merchant will pay their affiliate a percentage of the commission when they are able to sell a product. They recommend a product on their web page, customers click on that link and buy the product, the affiliate will get a percentage of the commission. Then next we have is pay per click. Here the affiliates, they are only required to redirect customers from their web page to the merchant's website, right? And if there is increase in the web traffic from that particular web page to the merchant's website, the affiliate will get the commission. But the most difficult is pay per lead. In this, affiliates they get paid based on the number of leads they earn. So to earn a commission, they must successfully lead customers to the merchant's website, and then they should persuade them to complete the desired action, like submitting a form, signing up for a trial, or downloading a file. If they are able to do that, they will earn the commission. So there are different payment methods, and affiliate marketing strategies goals are also different. So there should be an alignment. Each model comes with different level of complication, different level of difficulties and requirements for the affiliates, and accordingly these payment methods should be used according to your affiliate marketing goals. If it is to generate traffic, then pay per click method may work. If it is to generate lead, means you need some information about your customers, then pay per lead method may work. And then it is always better to go on niche influencers. Now, who are niche influencers? These are the influencers who have an expertise in a particular area. There are so many niche influencers. There is one YouTube page, YouTube channel, Simplify Your Space. And the owner of that YouTube channel, she has an expertise in how to take care of your household activities. And she is very popular and she is earning a lot through affiliate marketing. So it is always better to go with the niche influencers. Getting people to click on a banner ad or to make a purchase via recommendation can be a daunting task for regular affiliate marketers. But when it comes to niche influencer, because that person has an expertise in one particular area and people who are following that person, they have interest in that area, they have trust in that person, so it will become very easy for you to make sales through that niche influencer. And these influencers also have a more authentic and perceived, like I said, that their followers, they have trust in them and they believe in their expertise. So whatever they will recommend, they will believe in that without giving it a second thought. So therefore, they can effectively get their followers to trust your brand, because their followers trust the affiliate. So whatever products the affiliate will recommend, they will have a trust in that, and you will be able to sell your product, or you will be able to get the desired action from them. And this is the reason why huge brands, they choose to collaborate with many social media influencers and bloggers in their niches. And you will see that there is another this popular YouTuber who has a niche in physical fitness and health. And you will see on if you watch the videos of that YouTuber, you will see that in his videos he promotes so many reputed brands because of his popularity and because of his established need. Customers are following him and they are buying the products being recommended by that person. And search engine optimization is very important for all the digital marketers. So affiliate marketing should also invest in search engine optimization because affiliates, whatever products they will recommend, the customers these days are very intelligent. Before buying that product, they will search for that product. And if you have invested in search engine optimization, and if the moment the customers they search for that particular thing and your web page appears on the top of the search result, then it will enhance their trust. It will give them an assurance that yes, this product is the best. So when you are using affiliate marketing, you should not think that only the affiliates recommendation will work. No, you should invest in the search engine optimization. And you should use affiliate promotions by using different sources. You should not depend on only one source, right? Because in that case, you will waste. One source will have a limited reach. And on internet we can use multiple sources, like we can use bloggers, we can use social media people who are niche, like we have just discussed that who are niche influencers, and we can also use the email marketing. So instead of depending upon single source, marketers who are using affiliate marketing, affiliate promotion, they should leverage multiple options that they can utilize in their marketing campaign. This is all about affiliate marketing. Thank you so much. Now, if you have any query, you may please ask.
Thank you, ma'am, for the session.